Yeah, we weren't ready to. Yeah, you can't hear us because we weren't ready to actually come in yet. My bad. I turned the music off, but he was actually in the middle of talking about something unrelated to the show. So, what's up, Jaden Walker? Sorry about that.
Did they hear us?
Huh?
Wait, they heard us?
No, they didn't. No, they did not hear us. Jaden was worried because I cut the music off. I was preparing for us to come in, but you were talking about something else, so I delayed it.
Oh shit!
They didn't. They didn't. I said I'm turning the music off. Oh my god! Whatever. I'm gonna get into the intro. Oh my god. How's it going, dear viewers? This is your gracious host, Kaine Walker, with another episode of the Monkey Paw, episode 14, where we document the downfall of mainstream Western entertainment. I'm joined by my co-host, Soups, once again. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Good to be here, man. Feels like I haven't been on here in a while.
I forgot why you weren't here last time. It wasn't the Iceland thing. That was weeks prior. What was it this time? If you don't mind sharing.
I had complications with my Discord account.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll refrain from getting into that, but
I'll leave it at that.
yeah. Also, Wes, if you're hearing this, you can jump in at any point. We dropped a message in our group chat, but either way,
the link in his server.
Cool. All right, so we have three topics as usual tonight, and it's kind of a mixed bag. The reason why I say that is because people are starting to take gaming properties and make them into shows, so it's kind of like this weird blend of gaming and shows. So bear with me on that. I'm saying it like it's my fucking fault. But anyway, right? Like, so like, here's the thing though. God dang it. Did you want to get into your rant first, or did you want to start with another topic? Because that's the real.
I'll leave it up to you, man. I can. I'm patient today.
Okay.
Patient, man.
Well, you sound like you could use some time to sit on your thoughts a little bit, so I guess I'll open with mine. Yeah, I'll do that. I am really interested to hear your thoughts on what you saw with this Netflix series I won't name yet.
Yeah. Hold up on the name. I mean, some people
Yeah.
already know, but for the rest of the audience.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell them what it is just yet. But anyway, here's our first topic. As usual, guys, let me know if you can't see the article. I'm pretty sure it's blown up enough to where you can. It looks good on my end, but oh, how you doing, Toast? It's fine. You can be late to the stream. It's literally at your leisure. I would do this whether there were 0 people or 100 people in here because it's just what I like doing. I appreciate you guys being here. It is not an obligation of yours to show up. Yeah, no, of course we it's not that we don't want you to watch. Please.
Not that we wouldn't mind to get 100 people to watch us. No, just saying.
Please watch the stream. Please. All right, enough shilling. So we got an article here from giantfreakingrobot.com, which I'm going to star them because they're another alternative news site I've never heard of. So they're getting into something I saw on Twitter, which immediately alarmed me about this Fallout show, because for me, I saw the trailer first, and hopefully there's a link to that trailer here so I could show it to you guys. But if not, I'm just going to hold off on it. You can find that trailer anywhere, honestly, and it'll really slow the show down for me to just dig up the video here live. Besides, I like being prepared anyway. So anyway, here we go. It says Fallout series director Jonathan Nolan says pleasing video game fans is a fool's errand. And before we start reading, you have heard us talk about what's wrong with this mindset time and time again on the show. But of course, I'm going to repeat myself. It's not like they make pleasing the fans sound difficult when there's an entire Bible of fucking sources you could take from. And the thing with this show is that instead of taking elements from the entire Fallout series or sticking to the series or the time period in Fallout's history that fans like the most, that being, I would say, between Fallout 2 and New Vegas, they chose Fallout 4, even though it's the most hated Fallout game in the series, and they're taking the thing that
more hated than 76.
Nobody even hates 76. They just pretend it doesn't exist. Dude, I was like, oh right, 76 exists. No, 76 didn't really get as much hate as Fallout 4 because it was short-lived, because live service games ring alarm bells in people's heads, and it leaves a very bad taste in people's mouth, you know? So they just pretty much, it just died before it had a chance to do anything, especially with all the fucking bugs that game had. I was excited for it but when I played it, the experience was fucking horrible. Like, the technical issues were rife, bro. It was horrible, bro. Like, anyway, we're getting off topic. Shit. God damn it. We spun it into Fallout 76. But no, they're using the most hated wing of the series to launch this show, and they're acting like they couldn't research the most well-liked portions of it in like 10 minutes. Like, it wouldn't be that fucking hard. But for some reason, creators always blame their customer base for their laziness, their lack of willingness to do fucking cursory research into a fandom. Like, this is shit that is so well known, it won't take you days to find it. It won't. But here we are again. Go ahead.
It should be so easy. It should be so easy to please like a mass fan population. Like, just put what they love on the screen. And
literally.
Easy money. I
mean, yeah, everyone gets what they want. They get paid. We get our favorite mediums represented properly on the big screen. And it's like it's not like. There's also this myth that fans of any series expect a one-to-one copy paste of their media. There's two sides to that myth, because one side is actually true, but that's only true if you're doing a longer format than a movie. In my opinion, there's no excuse for you to not take one-to-one whenever it's like a fucking TV series. You can have you have seasons upon seasons upon seasons of shit you can make out of episodes. Even if you're doing it in like 20-minute snippets. Let's take a comic book, for instance. Like, you could easily distill the plot of a comic book in fucking 20 minutes. Like, very easily. Like, with Game of Thrones, right? Those were fucking 50-minute episodes. And you expect me to fucking believe you can't take one issue of a comic book and like, accurately portray everything that went on in 50 fucking minutes? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. So, like, you know, like, that's the side that is actually true about the myth. The reason why I call it a myth is because this argument was brought up in reference to movies in which you have 2 hours to portray like a certain story in a comic accurately. But I mean, that's easily solved by, you know, just portraying the character accurately and getting costume details correct and the character's personality correct, and then just making up your own story, which, I mean, the Raimi trilogy.
Marvel DC method.
Yeah, pretty much. And also Raimi, like, he did that pretty well, even though, I mean, it's not perfect because I immediately noticed that the costume wasn't exactly like the books, but like, he got enough right that we fucking ignored that because he actually gave a fuck about making something that the fans would enjoy, right? So that's the reason.
Funny.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's funny about that is that the suit, the suit in the profile picture is not exactly like one to one with the comic book, but it's damn near the best suit of Spider-Man ever now. And it wasn't like directly based off the comic, isn't it? It's special about that. You gotta be especially talented to do something like that.
Yeah,
Try to one up on the comics material, but like not out of malice, out of respect.
exactly. Like that suit. I mean, people fell in love with that costume because it represents what Raimi tried to give the fans. It's not about the book. It's not about the comic books anymore. That costume. Like when you see that costume, you think about the director and his vision to actually do your preferred fandom justice. And I don't even know if people are going to understand what I mean when I explain that, but the costume is a symbol of like it. The costume is a symbol of a director's love letter to the fans. I think that's the best way I can put that. That's why people like seeing it. Like you have the profile picture on. Like when I see that shit, I think of all the memories I had. I think of all the memories I had watching those movies. Like it's not a bad fucking. Well, save for Spider-Man 3. It's not a bad trilogy.
Spider-Man 3 still better than the ones that came after.
That's what's crazy. Like that movie, as much shit as it got, it's still better than the new things that it. Oh my god. But do you have any other final thoughts? Because we did kind of wax on a little bit, but I feel like it was necessary because we want to break down the negative aspects of this mindset we're getting from creators who adopt these properties that already exist.
I do have some thoughts I wanted to say, but I was gonna wait for you to read the article now.
Okay. All right, so now we're actually gonna get into it, guys. Thank you for sitting through that.
We tend to postpone it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's relevant stuff anyway. When it comes to movies and TV shows that are adaptations of other works, the original fans are often left displeased. They will often feel the adaptation strayed too far from the book, as critics of the Witcher TV series might say, or that it... Excuse me.
Rightly so.
Excuse me, God.
Rightly so.
Yeah, no, like, it's almost disrespectful to expect people who are familiar with the source material to just forget everything they fucking know. Like, it's not fucking fair. Like, but moving on. Or that it just took the world of the video game and used it as a launching pad for something totally different, as critics of the Halo TV series might say. However, there can also be danger in going in the inverse route and trying too hard to please hardcore fans. Okay. No. Okay. All right. I disagree with this, though. I fucking disagree with it. Go ahead.
That is so easy. I was gonna say, wait, that is so easy. I mean, trying like I don't know how you can overdo. Trying to fix, like,
there is no such thing as overdoing fan service. Like,
I was gonna say, because like, yeah, there's like desperation for fans by using fan service. I mean, we saw that with No Way Home and Spider-Man. Let's be honest. As much as I love seeing Tony back, I know that was a desperation move.
Yeah, that's why I say Raimi wrote that movie. Like, it was a huge desperation. The reason why I disagree with this is because, like, we know who modern media is being made for. It's being made for normies who know literally nothing about these aspects of pop culture that these people are adopting to make these shows. So what do you mean there's a danger in going in the inverse? Like, there fucking isn't. A normie would watch anything. So if you made a 1-to-1 comparison in an idealistic scenario, or if you made something that was up to snuff for hardcore fans, normies wouldn't fucking know the difference because they have no frame of reference. So what do you mean there's a problem in trying too hard to please the hardcore fans? As if that's hard to fucking do, right? Like, you've been doing, like, they act like the MCU in its inception never fucking existed. they were doing a fantastic job of pleasing hardcore fans. Like, what are they talking about?
To take another example, anime fan bases. It is very easy to please anime fans, especially in the shonen genre. All you have to do is just have an arc with a lot of action. Let the favorite characters, let the characters be cool and all, and boom, that's it. You got instant, that is easy money. Like Dragon Ball, for instance, can easily please.
Oh my God, you're not wrong.
Having a bunch of hyped up fights, and so it's like the mindset that pleasing fans is so hard to do.
Anime fans are the
Japan doesn't sell that much. Quality of writing aside, it is so easy to please an established fan base of people.
Anime fans are probably the perfect example for this, especially Dragon Ball fans, because you know about my criticism of that Broly movie. People fucking love that movie. They love that movie, and I think it's shit. Yeah. I mean, it looked cool. I like watching it. I had a good time. I think it's shit though, because the writing's bad. Like Goku would never say "call me Kakarot." Goku would never say "call me Kakarot." Broly's first fight in his entire life against a real opponent was against the two strongest motherfuckers in the universe. Yet somehow the fight wasn't over in 5 minutes. Fucking what else? No, it's not even that. No, it's not even that. The second Vegeta turned Super Saiyan God, the fight should have been over. And if we really being fair, their base form should have been more than enough. But whatever. Anyway, moving on from that. That was a great example. So I have no idea what they mean that there's danger in trying to please hardcore fans. Like, obviously, everyone's going to have their criticisms regardless. But then you just look at within the hardcore fan base, you look at the fan reception. Like, people are going to talk either way. They're going to criticize your show either way. Like, the thing you should be looking at more than the fucking chatter of the show is the reception via the fucking profits you're reining in. Like, if it's trending upward, clearly people like it enough to continue to spend fucking money on it. So why are you paying so close attention to what people are saying? Like, you could make the perfect show and someone somewhere would still talk shit. So this is like if this is the argument, this makes no fucking sense. Like, that is a fool's errand. Like, trying to please everyone to that degree is a fool's errand. But that doesn't mean you don't try to be accurate with what fans like. Like, that's ridiculous. Any final thoughts, man, before we continue?
This guy's sick because, like, it really shouldn't be hard, especially when you have like companies that love to milk like the best parts of like previously established like sagas or arcs. Again, Dragon Ball. You see it every time. They try to bring back characters from the Saiyan saga, Frieza, all the damn time, because they know he makes money, and fans love him. So just give the fans what they want. If people forgive. Probably at least. We'll probably forgive a shit writing if you can at least give them the characters they love and let the characters be who they are.
The chat is giving me shit.
I'm wrong on that. Correct me. I'm wrong on that. Go ahead and correct me, but still.
No, I don't think.
This is my experience watching anime.
I don't think you're wrong, but the fucking chat's giving me shit because I said the Broly movie was ass. Listen, man, if we analyze the writing of that film, I swear to God, dude, I didn't say I disliked the film. I don't. I enjoyed it.
We did it EFAP stream style of that movie. We would find a lot wrong.
That movie is rife with spoon feeding. Like, it's like they can't trust you to come up with things on your own or guess anything. Oh, he's keeping up with Vegeta in his base form. Oh, he's learning as he fights. Oh, it's like, motherfucker, I can see that. Why are you telling me? Like, I can fucking see.
That's classic.
Huh?
That's just classic Dragon Ball, right?
No, like, it was never that bad. It was never that bad. Like, it was like, you would never see TN. You would never see somebody charging up some shit and somebody's like, oh, he's charging the special beam cannon. Like they were narrating, like, I swear to God, they would narrate them motherfuckers breathing if they could. Like, he exhaled. Like, that's how bad it was, bro. Like, no, it was never that bad, ever. Like, they were narrating every single thing. They were narrating shit they didn't need to narrate, bro. Like, it was stupid. Oh, my God. But to clarify, I enjoyed the movie. I liked the fights, but I had problems with some of the writing. That was it.
When it comes to like over narration, I also think of Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter, however the hell you call it.
You can say either one. I ignore people who nitpick. But
The article.
we got like 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes out of that one snippet. Oh man. Okay, this is what has led the director behind the new Fallout TV show, Jonathan Nolan, to call trying to please video game fans a fool's errand. You can't please everyone. This is the first point. It's kind of a fool's errand. These are quotes from Nolan. It's kind of a fool's errand to try to figure out how to make other people happy, said Nolan. You've got to make yourself happy. And I've made myself very happy with the show. Oh, man. That's not how this works. That's not how they... Go ahead. You first.
I was gonna say, okay. The only time I can think of the mindset where like you've got to make yourself happy with what you make.
If it's new.
Is if you're making your own original story.
Exactly.
If you're writing your own book, your own game series that you are happy with. Because that happiness translates into the game or into the product you're making. And you're gonna find it's gonna gather an audience of people who are gonna like it probably as much as you do. So that's the only time I can see that mindset of you've got to make yourself happy in play. This
Bro, this is literally like taking somebody's order at McDonald's and then coming back with a completely different thing than what they asked, bro. And then when they're like, hey, I didn't order this, it's kind of a fool's errand to try and figure out how to make people happy. You've got to make yourself happy. Go ahead.
As for the McRib, why don't you give him a salad?
I've made myself very happy with this salad. Go ahead. Stupid, bro. It's like they're telling you, people have been telling you what they wanted since before you even got the idea to make this show, bro. What do you mean? Go ahead. Fucking A.
No, you go. I said my piece.
No, I was done too. I was done. So I guess we can move on. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't think you really can set out to please the fans of anything, Jonathan Nolan said of the Fallout series. Didn't this motherfucker make like a Batman movie? And didn't people like it? Even though it wasn't perfect? Anyway, we'll get to that later.
You can also tell that to Scott Cawthon.
I have no idea who that is. I'm so sorry. Oh fuck. I'm sorry. I'm not a Freddy fan. I'm so sorry. I'm a normie in that. I know. I know it's been weeks, man, and that's not something I peruse. I apologize. Jonathan Nolan said.
Toast is appalled by your reaction.
Come on, man. You can't expect me to know everything or remember everything. Jonathan Nolan said of the Fallout series, or please anyone other than yourself. God damn it, these self-absorbed fucks. I think you have to come into this trying to make the show that you want to make and trusting that as fans of the game ourselves, you're not fucking fans of the game, we would find the pieces that were essential to us and try to do the best version, Nolan continued.
So you're telling the fans to just try to salvage, try to dig into whatever fanfic remake quotation mark that you're making to try to find something to enjoy in there.
Bro, what?
We're asking us to try to bend backwards to find something to enjoy.
Bro, what they're essentially
Been a big Fallout fan.
what they're essentially saying is,
I only got into New Vegas recently.
you know enough, honestly. If you've gotten into New Vegas, you know enough. That was like that at one point in time. That was literally the most popular Fallout. Like during the Xbox 360 era, motherfuckers couldn't stop talking about New Vegas.
I only got into that because of you.
Oh yeah, I forgot. But here's the thing, though, right? Essentially, what he's saying is, I'm a fan, guys. Trust me, I'm a fan. I'm a really big fan. Bro, like literally, this is the exact same thing of someone saying, I play fighting games, and then you ask them, oh, really? What do you play? I play Brawlhalla, I play Smash. All right, that's enough. Like, he's like, I'm a huge fan. He's like, I'm a huge fan, guys. And then he shows you this fucking picture of some shit from Fallout 4. What? Like, what do you... You're a huge fan of Fallout, yet the only thing you've shown us is Fallout 4. Like, no. Look at this shit. Nolan is a huge fan of the games. Before getting up in arms that this is another case of a director snatching up a popular media property with no respect or knowledge of it, rest assured that is not the case here. Jonathan Nolan loves the Fallout games. For a while, perhaps he did so a little too much. He admits that he was...
I think you got your Nolans confused earlier.
Oh, I did? Fuck, which Nolan made the Batman shit?
Christopher Nolan's the one that did
Chris Nolan.
not Jonathan.
You're right. He says he admits that when he was starting out as a writer, he got really into Fallout 3 to the point it became his whole life. Nolan says for about a year, he was so into the game that it nearly derailed his career. You don't gotta lie to kick it, bro. So getting to now work on the Fallout TV series is a dream come true for him that allows him to channel his passion in a healthier way. The fact that this is so short, what we're being led to believe is that he played so many video games that he almost fucked up his long and illustrious career as a director. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, what are you? Oh my God, this is like Hillary Clinton with the hot sauce. Like, what are you? Oh my God. Oh. Hang on, let me gather my thoughts real quick, bro.
This is like Biden trying to say he loves rappers, but he can't even pronounce
My black friend Corn Pop. My buddy Corn Pop. Fuck. How did we get? Oh God. Wait, hang on. We gotta get back on the rails. Oh, okay. What I was gonna say was the fact that this is so short is alarming, because people who are passionate about something, especially obsessive types, it's not short. Like they wax on about this shit for a while. Like, you have to tell them, all right, keep it short. You have to tell them to keep it short, because they'll talk forever. Like, he didn't even name a specific. Oh, he said he got really into Fallout 3 to the point it became his whole life. Okay, all right, that's the only one though. Why is there? This is not a picture of Fallout 3 though, but I guess that's up to the fucking people writing the article. Either way, if he was into Fallout 3 so much, why is so much of the memorability? Also, that's another thing I forgot. Fallout 3 was also one of the most disliked games, which confused me, honestly, because I played Fallout 3 and I enjoyed it, especially Mothership Zeta. But, I mean, regardless.
Actually, let's ask our Fallout fans in chat, because I know we have a few.
Do we?
What did y'all not like about Fallout 3? We have like at least two or three people who
actually played Fallout.
Yeah, why didn't people like Fallout 3?
Fallout 3.
y'all played
Fallout 3, what did y'all not like? Let's ask our audience.
No, they haven't played Fallout 2. I guarantee they haven't played Fallout 2. Oh, Fallout. See, okay, that's why. No, I was reading the chat. Rudy said something about Fallout 2. And Rudy says the reason why Fallout 3 was so disliked is because it wasn't nearly as good as Fallout 1 and 2. And okay, that makes sense because I get it. Something can still be good and fall short of the expectations set by their predecessors. I get that. I completely understand where you're coming from. So I've never played Fallout 1 and 2 either, which is something I need to do. But here's the thing. I did do research. There were a lot more fucking RPG elements in Fallout 1 and 2, like a lot more. Like, I mean real RPG elements, as in if you play as a woman, there's shit you're locked out of. If you play as a man, there's shit you're locked out of. If you play as a certain build, there's shit you're locked out of. There was none of this fucking, you can plug 100 points into everything and you can access the whole game. Like, no, it was made to play multiple times. It was made to entice you to have multiple different experiences. That is what an RPG is supposed to be. Over the years, RPGs have drifted further and further away from, you are a mage, you cannot use a two-handed sword. If you want to use a two-handed sword, you have to make a fucking warrior. They've drifted far from that, further from that into, you can make this super strong hybrid character that can use fucking everything. So I get it. That would be the reason why people dislike Fallout 3 compared to Fallout 1 and 2. I get it. But I was confused at the time.
Jaden in chat says, to me it was the drama in Vault. I cannot say much about that since I don't know Fallout 3. I'll take y'all's word for it.
I actually don't know what he means by that. If he would elaborate real quick, because I did play Fallout 3, and there is that section when you're a vault dweller and you want to, for some reason, I forgot the reason you wanted to leave the vault, but you wanted to leave the vault and explore the wasteland. Oh, was it something to do with the water purification, or was it your parents? Fuck, I can't remember.
I don't know. We're gonna have to ask him to specify that.
Yeah. While they give us our answers, I'll continue. But if he liked Fallout 3 so much, why is most of the assets being used reminiscent of Fallout 4, right? And why is Fallout 3 the only game you know of from Fallout? Because most people at least know 2, and that would be 3 in New Vegas. So like, why did you stop at 3 if you're such a huge fan of the games, right? That's why this shit is alarming. One, this explanation is far too short. One, you've only played 1 fucking Fallout game. And 2, you claim you're a fan of this one Fallout game, 3, excuse me. You claim you're a fan of this one Fallout game, yet none of the assets you're using are from it. So like, it's very fucking confusing. Like, this just seems like he's lying here. That's what it feels like to me. Like, he's not being honest.
I wouldn't be surprised. Half the people working on this probably aren't honest with themselves, much less us.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. A lot of people are a lot more arrogant, too. They'll tell you that they're not a fan of it, but they're going to be on the project anyway. They're going to be on the project anyway. Like Taika Waititi is notorious for saying, I will fuck up your mythos or something like that. Like, they don't give a fuck anymore. They will use your beloved properties as a stepping stone without a second thought. They will hollow out your favorite fandom and wear the skin of your favorite fandom as a trophy while chanting, it has always been this way. Like, they don't give a fuck. So
I can't fathom how someone like can have such a fucking ego. Like, such an ego, man.
I don't know. They don't care about poverty, I guess. I don't fucking know. Hang on.
The guys are saying I have an echo. Do you hear it?
I actually don't hear an echo from you. They might be able to hear it on the back end from the stream. Rudy Smith actually gave me my answer. He says the Brotherhood isn't the Brotherhood in Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is the Wasteland. the Fallout 3 as a wasteland is incoherently backward for a period of time that is longer than the existence of the United States. Okay, so they fucked up some lore. Okay, that's another reason. I completely get that. I always wondered why in the middle of this jagged, dirty, filthy nuclear wasteland, there sits this pristine fucking hotel in the middle of this shit, right? I get it. Fallout sometimes does quirky shit like that because it just makes for a good adventure. Like, I completely understand. That's why they added things like the Wild Wasteland perk where you can find Indiana Jones in a fucking refrigerator or aliens. So I get it, but it still struck me as something that didn't belong in the area. Like, this fucking hotel was pristine. Like, it was too clean for the environment. So yeah, I get it. Either way,
I'm gonna hop off and hop back in, see if it fixes the echo.
Okay. I still think people would be more pleased with Fallout 3 than Fallout 4. For sure. Noise. If you want to donate, you'd have to do it through the description anyway, because we're not monetized yet, bro. Anyway,
do you guys still hear an echo?
So
on me,
on the next part of this article, they talk about finding a balance, and we'll get into the aesthetics of this show in a minute, because the more I look at it, I want to talk about this shit forever. And you can tell because I've been just rifling shit off this entire time because I'm actually very familiar with this property, and I have a bunch of opinions about the trailer that I will save until the end of this fucking article before we get on to the other things. Actually, I'm glad we did this first because this shit is probably going to eat up the most amount of time. So fucking A.
All right, the audience
so
says
if
they don't hear
Jonathan
an echo
Nolan
on me.
is a fan of the Fallout series, why is he against pleasing fans of the games? Yeah, that's a fucking great question, isn't it? He feels some creatives get too bogged down into trying to include all the game's little details. That's the thing, right? He's such a huge fan, it would literally be second nature to include shit because he's already knowledgeable of it. So the fact that this is a concern of his in the first place lets you know he's full of shit. Someone who is a fan would not be concerned about pleasing fans. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. It just doesn't.
Fans recognize other fans.
It wouldn't even be a task because you have the knowledge already. Nolan feels the most important thing is in keeping the core essence of the game intact, which he's failed to do, honestly. I'll get more into that later too. Rather than trying to do a precise recreation. Wait a fucking minute. These two things cannot coexist.
Wait, hold up. Is he contradicting himself?
Soups, I can't hear you and I don't know why. Hang on.
Wait, you don't hear me.
Say something real quick.
You hear me?
Oh shit! Why can't I hear you? I was just
the audience heard me
yapping.
Hold up. Do you guys hear me in the audience?
Okay, shit.
Hello? You hear me, right?
Why the hell can I not hear you? What is going on?
Hello?
Okay, let's try that. Say something.
Hello?
Okay, now I can hear you. I don't fucking know why I couldn't hear you earlier, but I can now.
Let's see. Hero says he can hear me just fine. Toe says she hears me.
Good.
So I don't know why you don't hear me.
No, I do now.
I don't know why you didn't hear me.
I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, he just went out for me. Did I interrupt you during anything? If I did, I apologize. I couldn't fucking hear you.
I was making a comment about how fans recognize other fans and what fans want. Like, it's like a common.
That shit
they have common ground. They know what. It's very easy.
Yeah, I had to analyze that in the moment. I'm like, wait a minute. If he's such a huge fucking fan, why is this even a question? Like the concept don't make no fucking sense. Soups, they're saying you have an echo, and I have no idea. What the fuck?
Again?
Yeah.
Wait. Is it me or you that has the echo?
That's the thing. Let me see. Talk again.
Yo. Hello?
Yeah, okay, I found it.
You do something on my end?
Nope, it wasn't you. I found it. God damn it. Nah, I found it. For some reason your audio was being fed into 2 different channels. And I have to look at that, but I don't fucking know.
I was doing that again.
Yeah. So, let's take a look at this real quick, right? So, these 2 thoughts cannot exist at the same time. He says Nolan feels the most important thing is keeping the core essence of the game intact rather than trying to do a precise recreation. So like, how the fuck can you keep the core essence of the game intact without precision and recreation? Like, how the fuck does that make any sense? They're contradictory.
Yeah, that makes no sense at all. You can't say one thing and then say another in the same sentence. That's not even oxymoron anymore. That's beyond that.
What the hell? I keep saying you. Hang on. Let me just close every other channel.
Says I have an echo, but it's a lot better now.
I'm gonna shut down every other channel, like right now. Or matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put these fucking headphones on. God damn it. Because I do have you playing through my speakers. That might be it. But I didn't want to put the headphones on. Talk for me. Oops. Soups, you there?
Yeah,
that's gonna be from them. They're hearing it on their side. I don't hear anything. So if the audience is telling me there's an echo, go ahead. So, I mean, we fix it with feedback from the audience. I can't believe I'm explaining. Okay, we're doing a tech lesson right now. We fix it with feedback from the audience, right? So he's saying there's an echo. Since I can't hear anything, I have to go into my audio settings, right? I found out that your audio was going through one of the channels like twice. Like your audio was going through 2 separate channels. But also I was playing you through my speakers. So the speaker audio might be coming through my mic. So I just fixed that too. So back to the discussion. Nah, I'm sorry about that. But you see how those 2 things don't make sense in the same sentence, right? Okay, now they're saying they don't hear anything from you. God damn it.
Is it nothing?
Yo, guys, there we go. Okay, all right.
Oh, there we go. Oh, jeez.
All right, please listen. Excuse me for any minor audio glitches. I'm gonna have to test this shit again because I haven't touched it in weeks because it was fine last time. But I guess now we're having more hiccups that are just coming up. Probably something to do with the updates for my virtual audio cables or my audio workstation. Sorry about that, guys. But bear with us.
No, says, bro, we need to buy y'all a good setup. Oh, jeez.
The fuck? If you want to give me money for a setup, I'm not gonna say no. However, this setup is pretty good. Oh fuck.
That's embarrassing. Anyways,
a little bit. So yeah, moving on. He says he acknowledges even if you try to include everything, there will still be fans displeased over what you omitted. This is the thing you can't escape. Like you'll never escape this shit. This right here, you'll never escape it. there's always gonna be some guy who actually nitpicks things into oblivion. Like, and I don't mean there's glaring issues that fucking make it so that the plot, god damn it, glaring issues that make the plot impossible. That's not what I mean. I mean things that are insignificant, like extremely minor details that don't matter. Like, you'll never get around that. But here's the thing. That's why you listen to fan feedback. Like, the best way to avoid that anyway is to listen to fan feedback. Like, that's just how you do it. But
and you'll never get around the pot.
Shut the fuck up. But no, but you have to listen to your fans, and so many creators nowadays just don't want to do that. Like, they don't, and I hate using this because I've heard this thrown around needlessly, because people think all criticism should be taken, right? But in Hollywood, creators don't want to take any fucking criticism, like none. Like, they won't even, because here's the thing, even if a creator debates the audience about the criticism, this nigga is he's still listening to it at the very least, right? So, like, I'd rather have that guy who's pushing back against the fan criticism than the guy who ignores it completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so
some people are still laughing about the pot.
I know. he says so he feels the best audience to try and please is ultimately yourself. Oh man, what a way to end.
This guy just does not get it.
What a way to end that, motherfucker. The vast world of Fallout. Okay, yeah, the vast world of Fallout, of which you only took one. It would be especially daunting for Jonathan Nolan to try and accurately adapt a world like Fallout. Literally, all you had to do was pick one of the ones everyone liked. That's just really all you had. You don't have to, like, here's the thing you don't have to do, because it would fuck everything up. You don't have to take Fallout 1 through 4 or 1 through 76 and, like, combine it into some amalgamation of all the different ideas, because that would be the fucking worst way of doing it. What you do is you pick one self-contained world and do your best to accurately depict that one. The thing is, that only goes for things that the fans liked prior. So when people bring up that accuracy is situational, like, of course it is. Who the fuck wants a bad comic to be adapted? Like, who the fuck would want one more day to get an accurate adaptation? That would piss us off more.
Oh,
this piece of shit, this piece of shit comic got an accurate adaptation, yet we didn't get Thanos' quest. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that would just make us more upset. Like, a bad book. Go ahead.
You're about to trigger Vietnam flashbacks with one more day.
Oh my god, dude.
If that one in particular got adapted, that would just be Vietnam flashbacks for everyone.
You never get around the pot. Oh no, she's putting it in quotes. Somebody got me. Somebody finally fucking got me. God damn it. I haven't been put on the quote wall in fucking forever. They got me. Fuck.
You're welcome.
God damn it. You win this round, Toast. You win this one.
Call it a team effort.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of a team effort. But yeah, like, the only thing you'd have to do is research which Fallout games were the most popular and pick from those to accurately depict. And like I was saying, no one wants something that sucked to be adapted accurately, because it sucked when it was in its original form. It's gonna suck even harder in live action. Shit, that's another quote.
You're on the roll today.
No, I'm not. Anyway, so it says it would be especially daunting for Jonathan Nolan to try and accurately adapt a world like Fallout, which is simply gargantuan. Each game is packed with not only a main quest that is quite expansive, but also countless side quests. Anyone trying to faithfully adapt even one of the games would still have the difficult decision of what memorable side characters should be left aside due to minimal importance to the main plot. I mean, you're already looking at it in the wrong way. People don't ask you to fucking include all the side characters because you remember this is an RPG and we get to pick who we take on the adventure. So like, it wouldn't even make sense to expect a certain like certain specific characters because the adventure is what you make it. You know what I mean? So the only thing you would really have to do is depict the world accurately and make a character for that world that is convincing, and other characters in that world that accompany our protagonist, I'm assuming, because that would be owing to the nature of Fallout, that is also convincing. Like, I don't even know what they're talking about, but go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, because the side quests are technically in show standards, it would be filler, wouldn't it? You don't have to include that into the adaptation, or like try to shove it in along with the main story, which is already gonna take up a lot of time, right?
Yeah, they're trying to say that you would expect us to include side quests, and they're essentially saying you want us to take the game and turn it into a movie. Like, no, like that would be impossible. That's not what anyone's asking you to do. That's fucking not what anyone's asking you to do. That doesn't even make sense. What they're asking for you to do is make us believe you paid attention. Because you talk about adapting the essence of Fallout, and for something that big, that's the only thing you would have to adapt. The essence. Because like I said, the adventures are what you make it. Like literally in Fallout New Vegas, for example, you could be a member of Kaiser's Legion. You could be a powder ganger. You could be a member of the NCR. You can go at it alone. You could be unaffiliated with anyone, and I believe you can also be affiliated with the Brotherhood of Steel, if I'm not mistaken. Or, like I said, you could be by your fucking self.
Think so, yeah.
You could be by yourself. I don't understand what they mean, bro. I don't think Fallout is any different from Star Wars in that you have different factions and you focus on a character that belongs to a certain faction, and they meet other people who are also a part of other factions. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this shit doesn't seem hard to me.
It's with Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars is way more clear cut. It's all like you're either on the Jedi or on the Sith side.
No, I'm saying I don't think.
Go ahead. Or Rebellion side, I guess.
What I was saying is I don't think
with Star Wars. I think it's a lot more clear.
Shit, I keep interrupting you. Finish.
I'm trying to say, with Star Wars, it's more clear cut, like which side is the character going to be on. They're going to be on either the Jedi or Rebellion side, because that's the good side. Like with Fallout, you could choose wherever you want to go and take whatever path you want. It's a lot more freedom in Fallout, and I think also like moral paths or moral ambiguity with Fallout than it is with Star Wars.
What I meant when I said that was like, I mean, you have a bunch of factions, right? And what I was saying is you can pick what scope you want to go through as a creator. You know, like you can pick whatever faction you want to start out as and just tell the story from the perspective of that character. Because when we meet, I'm going to try not to fuck this up because I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. God damn it. Who was the slave boy? Was it Anakin or Luke? I'm going to get so much shit.
That was Anakin.
Thank you.
That was Anakin.
Oh my God. He wasn't a Jedi before. So that's what I mean. Like there was a point where he wasn't a Jedi. So you can start the story out like that. You know how in Fallout New Vegas, you start out as a simple courier. You're nobody. and you get shot in the head by Benny. So it would have to be a setup like that, and from there you would be able to follow the main story of that game as the courier, or you could just take the world of Fallout New Vegas and just make up your own story using that world. You just make one that makes sense. Modders do this all the time, dude. Like, modders make entire stories, and entire like factions and characters using the world of Fallout. So if they can do it, I don't understand how these fucking creators in Hollywood can't do it. Like, they take concepts from like nothing and they just make their own shit. Go ahead.
I think without legal restriction, a Fallout modder could theoretically just make his own Fallout game from the ground, like from the startup.
Or his own Fallout movie series. Like, bro, there's somebody making a Fallout. I don't want to say a Fallout TV show. It's a web series. Somebody's making a Fallout web series, and it's very accurate. Like, it's detailing the lore and history, but yeah, it's detailing the war between the NCR and the Brotherhood. That's what they're doing.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yes, and it's fucking accurate. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, the world is huge, but you can pick small sections of this world and tell a story from the perspective of that section accurately. You don't have to use the whole fucking world. You don't. Because players don't when they play Fallout. They choose a piece because they can only have one experience per playthrough. So what do they mean? Do you get it?
Yeah, of course I get it. I was just letting you continue.
No, I was done. When there's that long when there's that long pause, I'm finished. Shit, we talked a good bit on that one.
Yeah, we did. Yes, and I'm just watching the chat, go crazy over California for some reason.
Yeah, because Noise
because of Fallout. Yeah,
Noise wants us to respect California. It'll never happen, Noise. Just pack it up. Anyway, I hope everyone gets my point that I was trying to make on that. Like, the world being really the world being really big is no fucking excuse. Oh God, this last one. The series is in good hands. My final thoughts.
I think we've well established that it's not.
My final thoughts. I cannot fucking wait to get into them. My final thoughts are probably going to piss some of you off, and I'm fine with that, but I have to say them. The series is in good hands. And even leaving Fallout aside, Jonathan Nolan has done this kind of thing before. The brother of director Christopher Nolan. Okay, so his more famous brother is who I confused him for. Jonathan has previously written for movies like The Prestige, Interstellar, and The Dark Knight. The Batman comics are another medium that have so much content from over the decades that it would be impossible to 100% adapt any of the storylines faithfully. I fucking disagree, especially if you're talking about a TV series. But The Dark Knight.
I mean, the animated series was doing a pretty good job at that. I don't know, man.
And those stories weren't even taking 100% from the comic books. They were just making their own stories in the setting of Gotham, involving Gotham's characters. You see how it works? Like, as long as it's something that makes sense for the character and the world, people will fucking enjoy it. You don't even have to use storylines from the source material. You really only have to use the characters in the world from the source material, and you can make up your own storyline using the assets from there. Like, it's not hard. Like, fan fiction writers do as much shit as I give fan fiction writers. They are fans, and they do know what the fuck they're talking about when they write their fan fiction. The only reason I give fan fiction writers so much shit is because they have all this potential as writers, but they fucking waste it writing somebody else's shit when they could easily be writing their own. But anyway, that's beside the point. All right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, ooh, we could go on a whole topic on fanfiction alone right there.
I know, but we're not going to. Where was I? Oh yeah.
And yes, chat, I agree. Batman Beyond is goated. Oh, not as much as the original animated series, but still close second.
Ah shit. There's a topic about Batman Beyond we need to cover too, because the fans were robbed of something involving Batman Beyond in favor of some other garbage.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'll reiterate, since we went off on that tangent, the Batman comics are another medium that have so much content from over the decades that it would be impossible to 100% adapt any of the storylines faithfully. But The Dark Knight is frequently cited as one of the best Batman movies ever made, so evidently Jonathan did something right. Oh, so they're just gonna take credit. They're just gonna give credit for that movie to him, even though his brother carried him. He was in his brother's backpack. Okay. Okay, so my
riding
final
on the shoulders of giants, I see.
Dead ass, like shitting on the shoulders of giants. Okay, so let me bring up the chat feed real quick and give my final thoughts on this. I will admit, when I first saw this trailer, I was wooed by what I saw. That is until I saw another female protagonist for another male-dominated property within pop culture. I really don't care how you feel about this. I think it's disrespectful to have a female protagonist in a property that you know that the target audience is mostly men for. It doesn't make any sense to me. It would be like the Barbie movie following Ken as the main fucking character, even though we know the target audience for that shit is girls. It would make no fucking sense.
It's funny you say that, because Ken was pretty much carrying the Barbie movie, from what most people have said.
I mean, yeah, ironically, he shouldn't have been.
Reverberating feedback.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been. The reason for that is because instead of making a Barbie movie for Barbie fans, it was a fucking political propaganda piece, and the character that was the least propagandist was the one that people ended up celebrating because he had good virtues, unlike our supposed protagonist. But anyway, that's beside the point. The thing is,
and he was a good singer.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling as Ken was cool. Yeah. But here's the thing. This isn't some like sexist point. This is a making sense point. Because why are you trying to cater to an audience that doesn't exist? You know what I mean? It just it fucking baffles me. Another thing about what I saw in the trailer, after some careful analysis, I noticed how everything looked so fucking shiny and new and clean, even though this is supposed to be a wasteland. And that threw me off too. I noticed the fucking terrible dialogue. Go ahead.
The dialogue. I noticed that too. It felt weird.
Like
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought.
She talked way too fucking much. Like, yeah, that shit is ridiculous.
You know what's funny? What you mentioned about the demographic, in a very like male-dominated demographic series, it tends to still pull people from the opposite end too, like just along for the ride.
Yeah, women used to watch action movies that were aimed at men because they liked seeing masculine men in films. They like seeing muscular, attractive, masculine men in films. Like, so like,
yeah, like even, and it is, and not even talking live action, just animation wise too. I remember the original Teen Titans, that attracted a lot of girls too, along with, even though it was meant for boys.
Yeah, and that
Spider-Man
show,
in the 90s also.
my bad. I was gonna say on the point of Teen Titans. Yeah, and that show had 2 dope ass female characters in it too. Starfire and Raven were fucking dope ass characters, and Terra too.
Yeah.
Before she was a snake. But anyway, even Jinx was cool. But Terra's a snake. Blackfire.
Jinx had a lot of style to her. Blackfire also. She had, you had a lot of style with those characters, and I think that's also draws girls in too.
But here's the point you just made for me, Soups, and I don't even think you realize you did it. These shows that we mentioned didn't have to cater to anyone outside of the target audience to draw in new viewers. So this myth that you have to change shit in order to draw in people on the outside is bullshit. Like, it was always a lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, that I was trying to support that point. Yeah, because like how you mentioned with women like seeing attractive men, I would know myself. I live in a house of women that would fawn over Chris Hemsworth Thor every movie. Well, except the one where he was fat, of course.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. The reason why, well, on top of the fact that it's over fucking done, you can't have a man be a protagonist in a fucking action movie anymore without him being a cornball or effeminate. Aside from the fact that it's overdone, that point I made earlier was the reason why I stopped being excited for the Fallout series, because this is a male-dominated fucking portion of pop culture, as in almost exclusively men like it, and we get a female protagonist, right? But even worse than that, the character you showed me as the antagonist is like leagues more interesting than why should I root for her when the villain you put against her is so much fucking cooler? Like, why aren't we following him? Why is he not the protagonist? The ghoul cowboy? Are you fucking sick? This is our competition? Vault dweller, fish out of water chick versus seasoned, ghoulified, drug addicted cowboy who's a gunslinger? Are you fucking serious? Audience, who do you think sounds more fucking interesting out of those two characters? Seriously, who? I'm dead serious. Is it even a contest?
No, it's. I think the only people I saw in the original trailer that gave positive comments towards it was that gunslinger.
Toast. He's a ghoul. He's a ghoul, Toast. I hope that answers your question. He's a ghoul.
Also, funny how we were talking about cartoons earlier. Some of the guys brought up Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, Powerpuff Girls. I don't even know who that was targeted to be honest, because I watched it and I was a young boy. I fucking loved the Powerpuff Girls. Who the fuck was that made for again? I'm pretty sure they were just making a cartoon, you know? Because here's the thing. There were. Go ahead.
You know, it's now that I'm actually thinking about it, I thought it was meant for girls, but more boys got into it because of the action. But
that's what
now
I'm
that
saying.
I'm really thinking about it,
it's hard to say.
It could go either way.
Yeah, it's hard to say because there was so much action that it kept us engaged as young boys, but the main characters were female. And we liked each one of them. They all had depth. They all were distinct. I don't know who it was meant. I don't know who it was meant for in the sense of I don't know who the target audience was. Honestly, I think it was made just to be entertaining, just period. And that just cultivated a more generalized audience. You know, because it was just fucking entertaining. So I can't really say who it was aimed
chat
at.
is apparently saying little girls. Which, I mean, yeah, I can believe that.
I have a tough time believing it because I don't know any little girls who like seeing motherfuckers get punched in the face.
The number will surprise you, actually.
Yeah. Oh my God, more dark truths. Do you have any other final thoughts on this segment before we move on to your rant?
I I think I'm good. I'm good to segue into the next topic. A topic I'm a bit passionate about. You see.
Yeah, you might talk more than me because I did like it, but it wasn't. You know how you enjoy something. You know how you enjoy something, but you're not like a huge fan of it. Like I have a lot of that going on. Like I'm familiar with a lot of facets of pop culture, even though I'm not really a huge fan of it. But I'm as knowledgeable as someone who is a huge fan of it, so it's kind of weird. You know.
This right here.
Oh boy, we're in for it. We're in for a treat.
This son of a bitch.
This
son
of a
bitch. I could throw dirt in this show's eye all day.
Oh man, do you want me to start with the title?
Go ahead. I can't fathom saying that.
Oh right, oh right. This was gonna be coming from Forbes. Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender review, much better than you thought it would be. Even though I have no idea why you would give a fuck about spoilers, I am gonna give a spoiler warning anyway because some of y'all are that fucking petty. If you have not watched this dumpster fire and still for some ungodly reason have the urge to consume this slop, I urge you to leave now.
I'll say this: the only reason I engaged in watching this was for the sake of being able to talk about this.
So you hate watching
with full confidence, and in full confidence, I can say it's as bad as you can believe it.
That's all we have now, though. You can't really shit on anyone for hate watching anymore. You can't really shit on anyone for hate watching anymore because that's all we have. That's really all we got. Like, what else are we supposed to, like? What else are we supposed to do? Like, not watch anything? Nah, I'm kidding. You could not watch anything, but for the sake of displaying the rot that pervades our culture and our media, I mean, I guess someone has to be sacrificed. So I appreciate you watching this shit because I really didn't want to watch this shit. Thank you for your service. Go ahead.
Okay, just put the symbiote suit on because I want to tear this apart because no one could say I cannot judge it for not because I didn't watch it. I did, and it irks me to no end. This show makes some of the weirdest and worst decisions from a narrative perspective I've seen in a while, and and this had some doozies.
Look at these motherfuckers. And
just look at the cast right here.
Look at them. Who are they? Who are they? Who?
It's the same shit. They're just as white as they were in Shyamalan's crappy ass movie.
Dude, like,
how do you screw this up?
Are
brown people hard to come by? Why can you not find accurate people?
Bro, they fucked it up so bad that they reverse tokenized characters, and I hate putting reverse in front of shit. This might be the second case of taking the brown characters and making them white. Like, this might be the first case. Like, what the fuck?
How do you?
They will do anything they have to do. This is what's finally convinced me. They will do anything that they have to do to fuck up your mythos. If the characters you love are black, they'll make them white. The characters you love are white, they'll make them black. If the characters you love are a redhead, they'll make them black. They'll do whatever the fuck they gotta do. Go ahead.
You know, the worst part about this is I cannot tell if this person did this just to spite us or just out of sheer incompetence. Either way, it is horrible.
Nah, bro. No, bro. Come on, bro.
It had to be spiteful.
Come on,
it was spiteful,
bro.
Wasn't it?
Bro, they live in the snow and none of them are white, bro. None of them. Have you seen the Water Village, bro? How the fuck do they maintain a tan in the tundra? How do they do that shit? It's magic. Like,
what?
Why was I expecting blue-eyed Latinos for the water tribe?
apparently they all got touched by the moon water spirit because they all just are as clean as the ocean for some. They're as clean as a glacier for some reason. How are they white as snow? How?
Joe Biden
Why?
visited. Joe Biden visited and and told them they ain't black.
Oh no! he absorbed. He touched them and absorbed the skin color into his own
He
power.
sucked the melanin from their skin. They're not black, by the way, but he sucked the melanin from their skin.
No, they're more like. No, they're more like based off Native American tribes, but
yeah, more
which
so,
makes it just as it still makes it egregious.
No, we can't get a black ang noise. No, we can't. Anyway,
for the love of God, no.
He's not even Asian right here. Like he looks like the Gerber baby. Like what the fuck is this shit? Anyway,
it is so ridiculous because they managed to get a bunch of Asian actors in this show,
yeah,
but they
not
didn't
one
get
of
one
them
for
is
Aang
Aang.
either. How?
I don't know. I don't know.
What? Where did they find these? Where are they finding these people? Because you gotta start looking elsewhere.
I don't know, man. They didn't even spray them. They didn't even airbrush them brown or anything. Like, anyway. Netflix's live-action Avatar, The Last Airbender series, never seemed like a good idea. None of these live-action shows ever seemed like a good idea. I mean, people liked One Piece, but I still think the spirit is missing because the characters don't look like they don't look like the characters from the manga. Go ahead.
At least One Piece almost looks like a diamond in the rough with an attempt to replicate the old show's vibes. This one has none of the vibe of the original show. I can tell you right now, there is no fun in any of the episodes. Every attempt at comedy they made was either some ham-fisted reference to the original cartoon, awkward ass, awkwardness, awkward cringe. Especially the Kyoshi Island. Oh god, that one was the worst.
Avatar, The Last Cringe Bender. Oh lord, I'm gonna just let you cook. Just tell me when you're done, bro. I'm gonna just let you cook.
Netflix app never seemed like a good idea because it isn't a good idea. Why even try? Exactly. Why even try to remake a beloved animated series when every single attempt they try to cash in on the series, it gets progressively worse. And I'm starting with Korra.
Funny choice of words. Progressively worse. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
It gets progressively worse every time. This is only slightly better than that crappy Shyamalan movie, but that does not mean it's safe. It does not make it good at all. This series has almost the same problems of pacing as the movie did, in that it can drag on forever. Just saying nothing but the same damn moral speech about, or like Aang's constantly making the same speech about how it's all my fault. I should have been here. I should have done this. I should have done that. Where? I don't. Oh my god! It gets so annoying.
Why even try?
Like we get it. What we get it. Aang had only needed 1 or 2 episodes of self-consciousness to admit that he was his fault. And they did it, and the cartoon did it in such a great, subtle way. There is no sense of subtlety in this show at all. There is no real build-up. Hell, the first episode is the longest, like, Togashi narration level info dump I've ever heard. And they did it twice in the same episode. The opening narration to tell you the entire damn lore, and then Grand narrates basically Katara. The Grand basically narrates Katara's narration and conversation. It's so boring. We're boring. We're so fucking boring.
Oh god, as shout out. Oh man. This next line is what really kills me, right? It says, why even try to remake one of the most beloved animated series of all time, especially after someone else had already attempted once and did it so badly the fandom agreed to erase it from the collective memory.
Thanks to this travesty, we got to reference that crappy Shyamalan adaptation one more time.
But here's the fucking thing though, like This is what's funny about Avatar live action. It's one of the rare exceptions, right? Because it shouldn't even be that difficult to make an accurate fucking live action Avatar. It just fucking shouldn't. Like, the characters look realistic enough to where you could actually find people who look like them and get sets that look like places they've been to. Like this is almost a layup for anyone who wants to make a fucking live action remake of Avatar, but they just keep fucking it up, and I don't know how. Like, how do you do it? Like, the Water Tribe is brown people, and you get motherfuckers that look like they from the heart of Scandinavia. I don't understand. Go ahead.
It's egregious because like how we just covered in that last article. This person, whoever made the show of Avatar, will say the same thing about, oh, we doing this to please, pleasing the fans. We're fans of this series. Trust us.
Yeah, trust us. We're really big fans, guys. Trust us. We're really big fans.
Trust us. As fans, you'll love it. No.
Jesus.
This was lukewarm reception or very bad reception.
Oh my god! Like hang on,
none of the characters have any of the energy of the original. Katara was probably the most boring of the three, and that's saying something because Aang has none of the fun of the cartoon protagonist. He didn't even do that stupid airbending yo-yo trick that he did in the Kyoshi episode.
Yeah.
That was memeable and funny.
Tell me he at least does the air scooter thing he does.
Only once.
Wow.
Only once.
That's like a trademark where he
Dude
does
can
like
fly.
the orb he can sit on as a scooter. Like, man, what the fuck? Like, what are you?
Yeah, the air. Yeah, the little tornado wheel. He only ever does that one time in the entire show when he should have been doing that like anytime he has to escape something. That was his trademark. He didn't even. Apparently, he could fly now. He damn near flies throughout the show.
Well, he should be able to fly, but only with that fucking glider, which is in his staff. But anyway, let me read a little bit more of this.
First episode, he barely used the glider. Is my point.
I don't know what the fuck is up with that. He should have definitely used that more. But let me read a little bit more of this article, and then you can continue. I know I said tell me when you're done, but you haven't been doing that. So
go on. I got more. Go on.
Okay, so it says, well, Netflix is seemingly addicted to this live action remake concept. Fucking tell me about it. Oh my lord. So here we are. They want a mega franchise drawing from multiple seasons of the original show and potentially even more from no. They want a mega franchise drawing from multiple seasons of the original show and potentially even more from Korra. And it all starts here. No.
Korra, the downfall of modern cartoon animation. You gotta be fucking kidding. The first domino to kick off the downfall of Western animation. You are kidding me.
Listen, I have to cook here for a second. The Legend of Korra did so much to fuck up the original lore of Avatar: The Last Airbender that it should have never been created, bro. Like, first of all, my bad. Let me wrap this up real quick.
Broke every rule.
It did.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It did. First of all, the rapid technological advancement of the show in Korra should not have even been fucking possible. The world is so vastly different, even though the time span between Aang's existence and hers is pretty goddamn small. Certainly not big enough to justify the tech boom this fucking show got. And it's just like, why would you? The fucking reviews of Korra and the reception has slowly drifted from mixed to toxic, acidic, sulfuric vitriol toward that show that I have no idea why anyone would get in their head to adapt it. Why? Why the fuck would they want to adapt The Legend of Korra? I'm the Avatar. You got to deal with it. What the fuck is going on with them? But anyway, You go ahead. Go ahead. Because that pissed me off reading that. I'm not even that big of a fan of Avatar. That pissed me the fuck off. I'm dead serious. Go ahead.
Imagine trying to adapt a series so broke. If you wanted to adapt from Korra, a series so broken, most of the fans had to write off most of the shit that happens just so that they could preserve the sanctity of the original cartoon, which is being beaten down in front of our eyes by Netflix now. It's like each company gets to take turn ripping apart each bit of the series, part of the series that we love.
Nobody in the chat like Legend of Korra. Beautiful. Go ahead.
Well, not in this chat, but I'm sure we could find a circle. I'm sure we could still find a circle of people who still like the show for some ungodly reason. Even the Korra fans hated season 2 especially, because that one is definitely the camel that broke Dolores' back.
Lord, Jesus Christ!
I don't even think I said that right. I don't care anymore.
Rudy says, "Let's remember these people have frontal lobe damage." I'm still gonna hold it against them.
Oh yeah, especially the writers of Netflix.
It's self-inflicted, so I have to hold it against them. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, if they all have frontal lobe damage, I'm starting to believe that someone in the Netflix crew has early on dementia, because they are completely forgetting that Azula is not supposed to be in the show right now.
Yeah, she's not.
Ozai is not supposed to have his face shown. I don't care if it's played by the same surgeon from that funny-ass meme. I am a surgeon. Dr. Han, I am a surgeon. Get the hell out of here.
That Legend of Korra did not start out decent, bro. I have to interject here. When the main character says, "I'm the Avatar, you gotta deal with it," that can only spell doom for the rest of the show. Okay, fine. You could probably excuse it by saying, "Oh, this is a character arc. She learns not to be a raving cunt." You would be right if the show didn't allow her to continue being a raving cunt with no consequences, and the politics that were rampant throughout at the time of this show's airing. I would give you that, if not for what we were dealing with in our fucking media and entertainment climate, even at that time. But no, once I heard her say that shit, I already knew it was curtains. Go ahead.
It's funny enough, they made Korra a cunt since she was 4 years old. Somehow I already knew 3 of the 4 abilities, which is frankly impossible for anyone to be able to do at such a young age.
No.
It's unbelievable.
Without instruction?
Why?
No.
Without instruction! First episode, first 2 minutes. She just threw around rocks, blew fire, moved water.
They wanted to make her better than Aang immediately for some reason.
It is insulting to Aang's legacy, as far as I'm concerned.
It is.
And speaking of insulting, the show really likes to rag on Aang for being, hibernation for 100 years. Even his old friend Boomy. For some reason, Boomy, they changed the whole the whole point of the episode of Omashu, where Boomy throws all these tests at Aang, which his friends were not even used as a part of in this continuity for some reason. They keep throwing the whole, "You are gone for 100 years. You're supposed to be the Avatar." That kind of, all that kind of shit at him.
How do I root for?
Boomy has no animosity towards Aang in the cartoon.
No,
I don't know why they had to change his character to where he feels the need to rag on Aang for this. But the whole point was that he was teaching him. What?
My bad. Do you know why there's no animosity toward him? Because everyone knew that the fucking air temple got annihilated and they thought everyone was dead. Why would I blame him for being dead? What the fuck? This is what Rudy was talking about when he said these people have frontal lobe damage. It was a miracle when they found Aang beneath the fucking ice, you assholes. They were nearly overjoyed. No one would be giving him shit because he can save the world now. What are you on? Go ahead. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, like in the point of that cartoon episode, Boomy was trying to teach Aang a lesson to use his head, think outside the box. You think like a mad genius. That's what the whole point of it was. And for some reason, they tried to shove in these other these other bits of plot points from other episode later on episodes into Omashu. It, hell, they had where Omashu was infiltratable even before way before Boomy let himself get captured in the show. It makes no sense to me how that's possible.
I mean,
I don't understand why they moved episode arcs from like season 2 and 3, or no, season 2, my bad. From season 2 into season 1 for no reason than I think to just pad out the time or just mishmash them all together. Like Teo, the kid on the wheelchair, and his dad who basically helped make the blimp.
yeah.
For some reason they shoved that into the Omashu arc. It makes no sense. The whole point of them was that they were looking for an air temple to stay in. And they learned from Aang's ancestors, hence how they learned how to fly on their own. That was the whole point. It baffles me, man. Like, why would you put these characters here?
I mean, I brought this point up earlier when talking about Fallout. Like, trying to take every aspect of something and like jumble it together is not the right way to do it. You take the stories in their isolation and depict them that way. Like, especially since this was like a series. Like, this wasn't even a movie. There's no reason for you to have to jumble shit together. Like, there just isn't. Like, the fucking animated series didn't do that. Go ahead.
It's funny how I mentioned that they jumbled shit. They were jumbling shit from like other seasons into this, but at the same time, they cut out so many episodes from the first season that would have easily flowed along with the show. Pirates. They cut out the pirates where Katara got the waterbending scroll from. Cut that plot entirely. These guys were also trying to assassinate Zuko for God's sake. Yeah, they cut that shit out and have it to where Katara just had a waterbending scroll in her village for some reason. Why? I don't know.
And they wouldn't have been using that shit. Never mind. Let me read some more.
Storm.
Go ahead.
The Storm, probably one of the best episodes of season 1, got cut. The Storm, which was like the best presentation of showing Aang and Zuko's backstories, respectively, got not so much cut, but it got split. Like, instead, it was almost.
No, I wanna chime in a little bit. Zuko and Aang's relationship, Zuko is the perfect foil for Aang. Like, perfect. Like, it's like, for me, it's the highlight of the show because, fire is supposed to be this great evil that's trying to engulf all the land, and Aang is the last airbender and supposed to be the world's savior. Aang's personality is vastly different from Zuko's in that he does want to achieve great things, but he's not as vicious or arrogant as Zuko. And like Zuko is like, because of his relationship with his father and being humiliated at such a young age with the fucking scar on his face, which, by the way, a lot of his bravado comes from that. Like, once you get humiliated in front of people like that, you kind of have to overcompensate. Like, you have to make people understand that just because that happened. Like, I mean, yes, they caught me slipping once. Okay, so what type of energy? Like, he had to make a point. So he grew into that type of character because of that. So, like, just the contrast between those two characters, you could make like an entire series just based on that shit. Like, it was great. But continue.
The thing about the Storm is that for Zuko, how you mentioned his humiliation,
yeah,
they completely changed that part of his backstory. He wasn't humiliated.
What?
He actually tried to fight his dad.
Why the fuck?
He put up a fight against his own dad. Exactly. Make that make sense.
Why would they change?
Like, they had the bit. Like, they kept the bit where he spoke out of turn in the fire meeting. And the misunderstanding of him thinking he was gonna fight the general that he was speaking against, but the Agni Kai against his father, like Zuko, instead of bowing and just pleading for forgiveness as he would at that age, it, to further serve the character. No, instead he tried to put up a fight and then got beaten, and then he got scarred. And oh my god, the scar!
Yeah, it
He called
happened
out a scar.
after he lost. Like, what the fuck? It didn't even happen during the match. That was the humiliation.
But can I just note on the quote unquote scar on his face?
Oh god.
What kind of scar? Fire burn. What kind of Okay, Google a picture while I describe it to you. What kind of fire burn scar keeps the eyebrow on the other eye?
Hang on.
Oh, look it up. Look it up.
I am. Oh Jesus, this shit look.
It's. Unbelievable. You see what I mean? Zuko in the cartoon was like a quarter on the way of becoming Two-Face.
Bro, tell me. God damn it, bro. This shit looks like makeup. This shit looks like makeup. It looks like fucking makeup.
It screams makeup. Like, apparently his dad didn't give him a burn on his face. He gave him a little love tap, apparently. Like,
oh, it's still gonna say it's from Reddit. I hate that shit. But yeah, that is what the scar looks like, and it doesn't look anywhere near as detailed as the other one. Like, even oh god.
The eye is that left eye should not even look usable. I doubt he could even really see out of that eye, but yet there's none of that detail in there.
Actually, no, I'll push back against that. He could potentially use that eye because the eye doesn't ever look damaged. It's really just the area outside the eye, because like he could have had his eyes closed, right? Like his father wasn't trying to fucking immolate him. He just kind of burned him as a sign of like to teach him a lesson, you know. So I can buy that he can probably still use the eye, but the skin and like you moving that part of his face would probably be difficult. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, all right, fair enough. But the live action Zuko looks like he was fucking around with a heater or something. Like
he looked like
a little too close to the campfire or something. Like he doesn't look like he got burned. He doesn't look like he got screwed with. Like
he looked like his mom burned him with a fucking clothing iron.
Smack with a clothing iron. Shit. Jesus.
Fuck.
Roki looked more fucked up than this live action Zuko.
I know you have a lot to say, but I do. We got to get through this article for real, and fucking
yeah, go.
You can air out a few more of your thoughts by the end. Hang on, I underestimated how long you would go. That's my fault. And I get it. Shit. Throughout the show, you can tell this is made by a cast and crew that have a lot of love for the source material. Yes, I absolutely read all the interview quotes that made it sound like they were changing, subtracting, or adding stuff that sounded bad. It seemed like... Wait a minute. Oh, fuck, I skipped something. My bad. Let me come back up here. It says, well, Netflix is seemingly addicted to this live-action remake concept, so here we are. They want a mega franchise drawing from multiple seasons of the original show and potentially even more from Korra. And it all starts here, and despite a mountain of skepticism, including from myself, who counts the original as one of my favorite shows ever, I have to say Netflix's Avatar, The Last Airbender, is much better than I thought it would be. By the end, I genuinely enjoyed it. Throughout the show, you can tell this is made by a cast and crew that have a lot of love for the source material. Yes, I absolutely read all the interview quotes that made it sound like they were changing, subtracting, or adding stuff that sounded bad. It seemed like a lot of red flags to me, but in practice, I don't think those changes overwhelm the whole and the entire thing. It's very much an attempt at a love letter to the animated series. Not from what I've been hearing. To be
Attempt my ass.
There are countless scenes and lines that are identical to the original, even if some structural changes are made for the sake of the adaptation, which, again, this is a fucking TV series. There is no reason to change anything. Like, there's none.
I already touched on why these changes make no fucking sense.
Yep.
Go on, sorry.
You're good. There are countless scenes and lines. I already read that. Fuck. It is not as good as the animated series. Of course it isn't. This is painting the Mona Lisa with colored pencil. See, this is the thing I hate.
Okay, wait. Let me. Yeah, I was
hate
gonna say.
motherfucker. I hate
I will
when
say
motherfuckers
this.
do this. I hate when they do this shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Okay, alright, look. I love Avatar: Last Airbender cartoon a lot. I love it a lot. Just like how much I love the Spider-Man trilogy. But I'm going to be the first one to say it ain't perfect. In fact, there's like a few episodes of Avatar: Last Airbender that just either weak or probably you could skip and you wouldn't miss much. Like The Great Divide. You know, that was one that a lot of people didn't like back then. But fuck it.
Yeah, but
It didn't hurt the show at the grand scheme of things.
That's not the point they're trying to make here, though. Because a lot of people do this, right? Where they use living up to the hype of the original as an excuse for why somebody fucked up in their attempt. No, it's not that they were as accurate as possible and people just didn't receive it as well. No, you fucked up in your attempt. That's what it was. And it fucking disturbs me when people try to do this. It's painting the Mona Lisa with colored pencil. Like, no, you got it wrong. That's what happened. Like, go ahead.
It's one. We could use One Piece again as an example. People loved the live action One Piece, and not because they did it. They just did it right. You don't have to use. They did not have to use the excuse of, oh, we just can't match it to the original cartoon. It's just that one's just too good for us. No, like it's not that hard. Sure, it takes work, but it ain't hard.
Yeah, because
it just takes honest work, and that's the thing. This is not honest work that they've been doing at all.
Nah, because like with that mindset of awe, we could never hope to live up to the original. Why even attempt in the first place? You know what I mean? So again, it just makes me think this is just an excuse, which it is. It's just a fucking excuse.
Yeah, it baffles me how they want to make excuses for on purposely changing so much of the original cartoon that did not have to be made. That also changed the narrative of the season. It went on, instead of the straight path that you could have taken, which isn't ironic to say because Avatar was an episodic series, but it still had a straight path. That they just, you know those memes where they just scribble all over the place to try to get to it goes all over the place to reach the same point?
Yep.
Instead of just a straight line?
Yep.
It's basically Gintama. Gintama has a damn episode explaining filler arcs where the arrow was going all over the place to try to go before going back on track. That's what this show was. It makes no sense.
I think filler episodes come from creators thinking we got to put something out for this upcoming week. Like, no, you really don't. You really don't.
In this case, I cannot say it's the filler arrow. It's just the adaptation arrow staying on the same, instead of staying on the same path as the original cartoon arrow. It did the filler arrow thing, which it did not need to do.
Fucking deviated for
like if you had to
no
skip.
Reason.
Had to skip an episode or two to pan out the runtime or something, or because it just wasn't worth adapting. And why skip out? Like, well, at the same time, why try to include in all these material from the other seasons that did not need to be there? Why skip out on some of like the cooler episodes, like the Earthbending Prison?
I'm never gonna give them the excuse of needing to skip something when this is a fucking episodic series and they already have a blueprint for what an episodic series of Avatar The Last Airbender would look like. I'm not gonna do that. Like, they have no excuse here. Like, they don't. They have no excuse. They have no excuse for the poor casting. They have no excuse for fucking up simple shit like somebody has a fucking burn scar on their face, which burns their hair follicles and makes it so that they can't grow hair back in that place. They have no excuse for jumbling shit up like it's gumbo. They have no excuse for any of it. Like, just, there's no defense for this shit.
Toast made a question about with the One Piece creator being involved. Yeah, and also this Avatar show was originally going to have the original creators involved too. But those guys backed out of it. And I can see why now. It's not because they were going to age up the cast, but because this series just went a whole ass buglow of directions that it did not need to go on. It completely changed everything. It almost, and in some cases, it almost changed, well, almost, I'd say, changed the lore. Looking at Kaine, the face spirit in particular, and Yue. If you guys saw the show, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna read how much more of this do we got left? We don't have very much more left, so I'm gonna finish it and then you're gonna give final thoughts so we can get into the final fucking topic of the night. God, this final topic. So starting from the top again, because it was a good bit of time between us talking and reading this. It is not as good as the animated series. Of course it isn't. This is painting the Mona Lisa with colored pencil, where it may be great in its own right, but it's just an entirely different medium that could never live up to the original masterpiece. So I think you have to grade on a bit of a curve here. I don't know how super fans will react to the series, and I'm sure many of them will not be forgiving of aspects of it. I also don't know what this will do for onboarding new fans who haven't seen the original, which is how I approached Netflix's One Piece adaptation, which was good. Here, all I can say is that as a fan, I thought they did a solid job. Okay. The biggest success. Oh no! The biggest success here is casting. Many remarked how eerily similar the casting choices looked to the animated characters, but in terms of channeling those characters, it really works. What the fuck?
Oh my god, my brain cell. I just lost a brain cell.
Right off the bat, I have to say the most impressive performance is Dallas Liu as Prince Zuko. I will admit he does kind of look like Zuko, but they fucked up the scar horribly.
Okay, yes, I'll give credit where credit is due. Zuko and Iroh's actors are damn near carrying the show with their acting, because they actually do, or at least try to do, the character justice with their acting.
Jesus Christ! Right
It's just so much around them is so bad.
Yeah, like there's only so much a good actor can do with a bad script, right? So right off the bat, I have to say the most impressive performance is Dallas Liu as Prince Zuko, who portrays rage masking rejection expertly throughout the entire series. He is joined by, again, another perfect casting choice in Paul Sun-Hwang. I hope I didn't butcher that. Lee's Iroh. Paul Sun-Hwang Lee's Iroh, whose only fault is that he's tall.
I don't give a damn about his height.
I mean, you know, character portrayals, like the same thing gets discussed with Hugh Jackman because he is a little bit too tall to play Wolverine, but he encapsulates the spirit of the character perfectly. So like, I would overlook something like that. I would acknowledge it. I would acknowledge it because it's a valid criticism. But like, if the actor looks enough like the character and they knock it out of the park as far as portraying their personality, I'll overlook some shit. Like we keep bringing up the Raimi fucking movies. Like we overlook some shit because he did enough right to where we like it, right? So,
oh god, this paragraph. This paragraph.
You're reading ahead while didn't the teacher tell you about while they take more time to warm up. Ian Owsley's Sokka and Gordon Cormier's Aang are great and anchor the series. No, Sokka is not on. No, Sokka is not on as much of a girls are bad kick here. I don't think it was ever a girls are bad. See, they framed that wrong.
No, he was never girls are bad. He was just saying there was the only episode where he was commenting about girls was just
Their
girl, it was like, oh, girls do the cleaning, the knitting, while the men do the fighting, the war.
Yeah. Go ahead, my bad.
He was just talking about capabilities in a world that was. He was talking about capabilities. Men. He was just making comments about how men are the fighters, girls are the cook, the ones that cook, the knit, the clothes, and all that. Like, and that was played for a joke.
Here's the thing,
in
though.
that Kyoshi Island episode.
People shit on him for that, even though that's what the culture he was brought up in has taught him. Like his sister is a direct result and product of that. So like, you can't really look down on him for that when that's what his culture practices. And it's not a bad thing, because if you think it's disrespectful for him to think that way, then it should by proxy be disrespectful for his culture to practice that. So like, it's not his fucking fault, and it's not sexism. It's the world he was brought up in. Like, what the fuck? It's his lived experience, you assholes. You wouldn't want to deny that, would you? Go ahead.
And it's funny because it is a product of his upbringing, and then the show introduces girls that kind of, I hate saying this, quote unquote, break the norm, break the ceiling, because you got an island of girls whose main shtick is fighting the Kyoshi warriors.
Yeah,
and then you have Katara, who's a waterbender.
My bad. There's not a million islands filled with women who fight. Like, they are the exception. So like, go ahead. Sorry.
And then Sokka makes a bit of an ass of himself in that episode, but he was he was humble enough and open-minded to be like, oh yes, I can learn from these warriors,
Yeah.
Which they cut out in the Netflix show. They kept in Katara, being a waterbender who wants to fight, but the culture is like, no, you're not allowed to. Women are not allowed to fight. They kept that little plot in the Netflix series, but like,
of course they did.
All the energy and the cool factor, or at least showing the progression of them slowly opening up to her as a female fighter was so badly done.
To be honest with you, that aspect of her character was probably overblown as fuck in the live action series anyway, because she's still, like, instinctively, she would still assume the role as a healer and nurturer more often than this fucking, I'm gonna go kick some ass character. Like, she pretty much only fought when she needed to. Like, that was not her preferred mode. Like, you could see it in everything she did in the show. Right?
Yeah. And what's also gets me is that when Katara does go into kick-ass mode in the cartoon, you see it. She does it with such energy. She does it with such, and all that. And in the show, she just kind of splashes, throws a bubble or two, a wave maybe. And in the North Pole, where she's supposed to be doing like the most action, it's so weird because one, she doesn't do half the cool shit she does in that 2-episode part series. And she did not get the actual teaching from Master Paku like she did in the cartoon. So when Zuko goes, "Little pest, you found a master, haven't you?" It makes no sense. In Resident Evil, where Wesker never meets Chris Redfield, but he still says, you're becoming an inconvenience for me, It's like, what?
Wasn't Wesker black in that?
The context ain't there anymore. No, talk about the first adaptation.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, the one with the OC women, OC girl boss protagonist.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. But that was at a time where that was actually
Wesker was
cool,
not black
though.
in that series.
That was a time where, like, that was a cool character, and like female protagonists weren't being overdone or done for political reasons. Resident Evil is actually a series where the fan base was familiar and used to seeing female protagonists like Jill Valentine, Claire Redfield, Rebecca, I forgot her last name, Sherry Birkin. Fucking, like, that wasn't uncommon for Resident Evil. What was it?
Chambers.
Rebecca Chambers. Thank you. Fuck. But that wasn't uncommon for
Also,
Resident Evil.
just want to
Go ahead.
like my point is that in one of the movies they were supposed to have the scene where their version of Chris Redfield and Claire meet that Wesker, and he's white in that version, and he makes that reference to Part 5 line. The thing is, none of the context is there.
Yeah, no.
Just like in this case with Netflix Avatar, they don't even have the rivalry, like the arc where Zuko took Katara's necklace as a way to track her. So like the back and forth is, none of the tension is there, none of the familiarity is there. And Katara is such a, like, personality wise, has none of the strength, the passion, none of the barely any of the care.
So her personality was completely
like, you know, because in the
warped.
cartoon, yeah, it's like, because in the cartoon she's juggling between being like a caretaker type of figure and then being a fighter at the same time, and then just trying to be like a normal girl. Which there's even episodes that where she struggles to do that, but like they make fun of her for having an overbearing personality sometimes.
Yeah, she's like she's a
There's none of that
helicopter
in the
mom.
show.
She's a fucking helicopter mom. Here's the thing, right?
But like, there's none of that in the show.
I read ahead a little bit of the article, and like I be trying to read through the article, but I always run into some dumb shit that makes me have to say something. So the very next line is, but he still struggles with the same sort of insecurities that led to that mindset, and he is Sokka. Like, that mindset didn't come from insecurities. Sokka was too stupid, which again, he's stupid and a genius at the same time when the show kind of wants him to, which is one of the cheap criticisms I give it. Right? He was too stupid, especially in the beginning, to have any insecurities. Like, he was a fucking dumbass. He would rush in head first without thinking. Like, he's the type of person who would yell, sneak attack. Like, what the fuck? Like, that didn't come from insecurity. Like I said, it was a product of his culture. Like they're always showing that they don't pay attention. Like it always has to come. Whenever a man criticizes a woman, it always has to come from a place of, oh, you have a small pee-pee or some stupid shit like that. It can never just be valid criticism, ever. It's so stupid. But moving on.
Speaking of the whole man thing,
yeah,
I remember in the Netflix show they have like they inserted this kind of little subplot of Sokka having this, you know, fear of not living up to his dad, but not because of, like, you know, just expectation not just because he genuinely respects his dad and wants to be like him, but because apparently he like half-assed passed the test of warriorhood, of manhood in that village, and even his own dad just straight up admits, you know, he's not good enough.
Damn.
Which is not at all canon to the cartoon. His dad very much believed in him, very much knew his son could one day be better than him. So Sokka having this this thing of, you know, I was told I wasn't good enough, it makes no sense.
I mean, he definitely didn't strike me as that in the show, even if he had flaws, you know, like, even though he was he would fall on his sword a lot, and he was very brash and arrogant and whatnot, he wasn't a complete dumbass. Like, he wasn't a complete dumbass. So, like, there was some hope that his character would grow into a more capable, seasoned, and contemplative warrior, one that would, you know, analyze a situation. Like, we see that later on in the show. He changes his mindset when he meets the Kyoshi warriors. He learns how to become a master battle strategist. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, like, that doesn't even make sense when contrasting it with the show and what happens. Like, again, warping a character's personality to suit their own ends with the show. But let me wrap up the article. We can get final thoughts and move on. Says, I think Cormier's Aang starts off a touchy rock with his line delivery, but as the show progresses, so does he. And for an Aang that needed to be as young as he is, Cormier ends up filling the role expertly. Again, ahead of release, there was this concern they were making Aang darker and more serious than the original show. And that is something that is just not true in this version. Yes, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Lies? You said it was a lie?
Lies.
Yes, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, but he's still that goofy kid at his core. The Fire Nation crew is great. Daniel Dae Kim is terrifying as Fire Lord Ozai. I haven't seen him. Ken Leung is great as the sniveling, scheming Commander Zhao. I didn't think Elizabeth Yu as Azula could have. I did think Elizabeth Yu as Azula could have been a miscast at first. There's a lot of typos in this shit. I'm sorry. As she is one actress that does not really resemble the original character, but she's got that fire, no pun intended. By the end, you'll believe in her capacity for cruelty. And no. She doesn't look like Azula.
That was absolutely intended.
Yeah, I don't buy that either. You may notice these. You may notice the singular omission here is, I'm gonna fuck this name up, Kia Wintio's Katara. Of all the characters, she landed the least well for me. There's nothing bad about her performance, but given what a cornerstone Katara is on the show, I just named
so much bad about her performance.
You said I just wasn't getting the same kind of energy from her. I mean, that would be, she didn't capture the character correctly, and that probably
I said like
fault.
I just named so much bad about her performance.
That probably isn't even her fault, to be fair. Like, that probably isn't even her fault. Like, it's probably the script. She shines.
No. I will not fault the actors.
You won't fault the actors? Yeah, it's probably the script, honestly, and the choice of casting. But that, again, that's beside the point. She shines in the climactic fight of the series, but before that, she doesn't feel as on point as most of her castmates. Perhaps that could change in future seasons, which I would say the show deserves. The visuals are mostly good.
No.
There are many.
Oh, no, God.
There are many moments where things get a bit too green screeny for my tastes. Sailing on boats, riding Appa, but then sometimes the VFX are great. Appa himself is animated amazingly. The cityscapes are gorgeous, and while no, you will never beat the furious animated bending fights from the original show, these are really quite good for being live action. Another thing working for this show is
let me say something about the fights real quick.
Oh no, go ahead.
Tell me, okay, make this make sense to me. In the first episode, it's like they have a prologue section. There's a couple of earthbenders or trying to escape the Fire Nation.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, this guy was an earthbender. The rest non-benders, but Earth Kingdom wise, whatever. The earthbender, while running away, gets shot in the back by a fireball. And throughout the scene, he gets shot at least twice by a fireball, dead on. How was he not burning?
Yeah, why weren't his clothes on fire? I don't know. I have no idea.
Like, there are quite a few instances where a non-bender or a non-firebender, I should say at least, been hit by fireballs, but just walk it off.
I don't know.
There's no their clothes are not even charred. They don't even say that the clothes are fireproof or anything like that. Like they just can't fathom it. And then in the next scene, when the guy gets caught, he's obliterated. He's incinerated. He's incinerated by fire.
That's the thing,
by Sozin.
My bad. That's the thing, though. The Fire Nation were the stormtroopers of The Last Airbender. Like, while other tribes and other benders weren't as brutal as the Fire Nation, they're the serious side of the show. That's what they were always meant to be. they were on the warpath. Right. So I don't know why they would be so tame in displaying the brutality of the Fire Nation. I don't know. I don't get it. Seems like a deliberate choice to me.
I have to say this about the brutality.
Mm-hmm.
Say this about the brutality, because weirdly enough, there, like I just mentioned, there are times when they get hit by fireballs, but nothing happens to them. But then in the next scene, they want to show people being burned alive, like on screen.
Yeah, they have to pick.
I'm like,
honestly,
wait. Yeah, what the hell?
Honestly, they would probably
They made a whole
better.
segment of the.
You first, sorry.
I was gonna say they had a whole segment of the Air Nomad massacre.
Mm-hmm.
They could show off I feel like just to show off people burning on screen for the first time, which, I'll be honest, the whole first 10-minute prologue is really unnecessary since they tell us what happens later on. There's no real point in showing it other than just showing airbenders being burned. Like, which honestly, it shouldn't even have been much of a fight between the air nomads and the firebenders because they had Sozin's Comet on their side.
To be honest with you, it does the show a great disservice by not showing the Fire Nation in their brutal and conquering depiction. Like that was the core. That was one of the core world issues they were facing. The fucking Fire Nation. Like, don't you want your antagonist to be foreboding? That, like, even if you only did it for them, it would serve its purpose greatly. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why, like, I'm not against showing people being burned alive in the show. It does add, it gives a little bit of maturity, like, more to the maturity factor of it, which I guess which I know they wanted to go for, but it's just so picky about when they want to actually burn somebody. It's like
it's like
they want to burn somebody for when it's for the shock effect. But when it happens naturally in a fight, you could get hit by a fireball, or you could just block a fireball like Jet does in the show, which I can't really fathom how he does that. I don't think he's ever done that in the show.
Somebody getting hit with a fireball is always shocking. So that's why I don't understand why you can't have citizens fleeing, somebody getting hit with a fireball and then falling to the ground either on fire or as a pile of ash or as a burning skeleton. So like, I don't get it. Like Mortal Kombat does this really well with Scorpion. So like, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't get why they wouldn't want to show them that way. Like they're the biggest antagonist of the world. Show them as the bad guys they are. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because like they will show like people being burned alive when it's like Ozai catches a bunch of people and it just wants to and like let him show off being evil. But just in a fight though, in the middle of a fight. Like in the show, they always dodged around it by having it to where the characters either dodge the fireball or Aang just airbends it away, or Katara water blocks it. Like they have ways to work around it, so they never have to show anyone being directly hit by a fireball in the middle of a fight. That they can't really. That a firebender, unless it's a firebender. So I don't get why the show is so picky about when they want to be dark.
Yeah, let me wrap up these last two paragraphs and then you can give your final thoughts real quick. Okay, it says, shit. I'll just start from the top again. Another thing working for the show is its pacing. Looking back, it was truly insane for M. Night Shyamalan to try to pack an entire season into a single film. But here, there are 8 episodes that are usually around 50 to 60 minutes. The first season of the show had 20 episodes that were closer to 20 to 22 minutes each. If you do that math, there's almost the same or even more time to tell the story than the original book one had, and it allows the show to breathe. I mean, that's literally the point I made with Fallout. Like, it's a TV series. You have time to accurately depict everything. So there's no excuse. Again, it's hard. I know that no matter what, this show will not please everyone. It really was almost an unfair task to have people try to reproduce such a beloved series. But while this pattern has been hit or miss on Netflix, especially, I would consider this a hit. My rather low expectations have been exceeded, and I'm genuinely interested to see how they handle the next two books of the original. Give me Toph, and after that, sure, give me Korra. Let's do it. It ain't my money.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
So at least they know Korra's ass, right? But anyway,
do they? I don't think this Forbes guy knows Korra is bad.
so how you feeling, Soups? We're at the end of the article. What else do you have to say, man? Like what is what is your overall summary of this show? Like, if you could give it to us in under 5 minutes, like, just give it to us. Like, what do you think, man? Like, how are you feeling right now?
They made an 8-episode series so that they could, for the sole purpose of putting in the entire season 1 into a live action series, yet they skipped over a chunk of season 1 episodes that would have naturally connected everything from one place to another, yet they didn't. And they deviate, they ruin so much of the characters themselves, and the entire episode structure has been completely fucked with for no absolute reason. What?
Oh my god!
Even when they adapt the episodes themselves, they completely change the context or the format if it was done. Again, Boomy, instead of being tested to see if he was instead of being tested by Boomy naturally to test his mind, he gets tested out of, dare I say, spite? I can't fathom what Boomy was testing Aang for anymore, because it makes no sense. The episode of the storm got basically erased.
So you hate him for being erased, gone, yet you help him? Fuck it. I don't even want to think about it.
And let's talk about the characters for a second. Sokka especially. Not only did they take a bit about him, of his character arc, and put the Kyoshi Island, they took his energy is just so weak. He's not funny, man. He's not funny at all. Barely even uses the boomerang. The boomerang itself looked like a cool prop, but he doesn't actually use it throughout the show at all. I can't fathom why. The goofiness about him, which could mess with the darker tone, but the thing is, Avatar was not meant to be completely grimdark. It was a fun, nice little series that anyone could have walked into.
They balanced it well, especially with Sokka. They knew when to make Sokka more serious.
Precisely, yes, and they took the fun and I get, well, don't want to say childish bits. They took all the fun anime bits out of it to try to make a ham-fisted, over melodramatic dark series. Because if I have to hear Aang berate himself one more time about needing to take responsibility for not being there for the last 100 years, I'm gonna smack him over that bald head, because I cannot fucking take it anymore, man. If I have to, you know how Katara used to be made fun of for talking about hope all the time? Well, yeah, there's all of that with none of the comedy to balance it out. There's just nothing. And I could go on and on about the other episode changes that they did too, but we'd be here forever.
Yo, you see what's going on there in the back?
Dear, holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Oh my god, man. Actually, before we get into this next segment, you can talk a little bit longer, but only because I have to piss like a racehorse. So I will be right back. Get it all out in the
race on ahead.
Get it all out in the 3 minutes that I need right now. Hang on.
One thing that irks me to no end is them shoving in episodes like the lover, what is it called, the Lover's Cave episode from season 2, where Aang and Katara get split off from Sokka and the hippies. They discover this cave, that they run out of light, and they not so subtly probably kissed in the cave to make the lights come up. Well, that context got completely changed in the live action, because Sokka and Katara are the ones stuck in that cave, and they discovered the power of love through being family. even though that goes against the lore that they literally explain word for word of what the Lover's End was about. It's weird, makes no sense. And if we're talking about stuff that makes no sense, let me reiterate: Khan, the face stealer. Aang should have been screwed because he just runs into Khan and does not get his face stolen instantly. And it's not like he had Roku to back him up. Avatar Roku got benched hard throughout the show. He only appears one time, and he doesn't even get to do the cool spirit appearance where he damn near lava bended a whole fire temple into the ground. It was awesome. But no, none of that context was there. He got replaced by Kiyoshi in an episode that she doesn't even appear in. Whose cool moment was stolen by Kiyoshi, and Roku doesn't even get to have his moment. The race against time to reach the fire temple. The race against time to reach the fire temple to talk to Roku, so that would eventually lead to Aang learning about Sozun's comet. Which, oh my god, I just realized these characters know nothing about Sozun's comet. The deadline is non-existent. The tension, the time.
Oh yeah,
the doomsday clock. The doomsday clock is not there.
Yeah, that kind of fucking. What the fuck are they doing?
I've ruined everything, man.
Yeah, that's literally the reason why Aang has to rush to learn all 4 elements. You're right. That's not in the fucking. That's not there.
It's not there.
What the fuck? I'm gonna read.
The only time they bring up Sozun's comet was in the prologue. The prologue 10-minute bit. But like,
okay, Roku, so they mention it.
Kiyoshi.
So they mention it? I thought they didn't mention it at all. That's what I was thinking.
No, like they mentioned it in the beginning because they show the scene where Sozun does the genocide, and then Ozai brings it up at the very end of the show. But but Aang, no, he doesn't know about the comet. Roku nor Kiyoshi, who replaces Roku pretty much, might as well. Show doesn't tell him shit about the comet. In fact, like the only thing that he knows about was that the Water Tribe was gonna get attacked, which no duh. The Northern Water Tribe, I mean, no shit, it was gonna be under attack. Everyone knows he's on his way there. Like the cool bits, the race to get there does not have the Sozun's comet looming overhead. The doomsday clock is not there, is my point. And oh, might I add, the rivalry between Zhao and Zuko is damn near non-existent.
Oh yeah, he did have beef with the advisor for sure.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, what was his official rank? What was Zhao's official rank? He was an advisor.
Captain Zhao to Admiral Zhao.
There we go. Okay. Let's end it there because I know we could talk about this shit for fucking another 6 hours. But I want to end on a comment that Rudy Smith wrote. He says, "All I can say is I'm excited for The Legend of Korra to get a live action adaptation. I want to see how far we spiral to the bottom." Oh, and Toast says a downhole dwelling bottom of the pits. It's like they're intent on shooting themselves in the fucking foot, like all of them. But oh my god, guys, Jesus fucking Christ, man, this next topic. Brace yourselves for what I'm about to bring on screen, because this shit is garish. Like, this is some helter skelter shit. Alert. Oh. This is your cringe warning.
Press the button for cringe alert right now.
This is your cringe warning. Like, Jesus Christ.
Look at your peril.
That was great timing. I was just about to click the button. Oh my god! All right, we're doing this. We're oh god. What is this? May I grab the bleach? It's pretty fucking bad, man. Like, it's, oh Lord,
it's so bad.
This is, oh. This next one is from Bounding into Comics. Capcom advertises Exoprimal with drag queens in the West and VTubers in Japan. If that doesn't highlight the cultural divide between the East and the West, I don't know what the fuck does. Even within Capcom, there is a divide between Capcom US and Capcom Japan. Okay.
What does Exoprimal even mean?
Oh, Exoprimal, it's like a game about mech robots. It actually sounds like a cool game I would like to play.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the fuck drag queens
not anymore.
Robots. No, I would still play it. The drag queens can't ruin the video game, especially when the Japanese gave you anime chicks to promote the game. I'll still play it, but oh Lord. Let me gather myself. Thank God the U.S. part of Japanese companies doesn't make any decisions with how games are made. Yeah, thank God. God
willing if Japan does not let the U.S. influence them, because I keep hearing concerning rumors about Japan being lenient on the whole ESG shit, which
no, I mean that's not entirely
really
wrong given what we got with Street Fighter 6. But let me get into it real quick. While Capcom Japan grants VTuber Botan early access to promote the upcoming Exoprimal, Capcom USA hosts drag stream to advertise the game's open beta. The comparison was raised by Twitter user Haru47 who shared a side-by-side screenshot of Capcom USA and Capcom Japan's advertising of the open beta test for Exoprimal, noting Capcom USA marketing versus Capcom Japan marketing. Capcom USA's stream on Twitch features drag players Dare and Black. Does that say bitch pudding?
What?
Whatever that shit says. Go ahead.
No, I'm trying to read that too. What the hell does that say?
Dare and
Learn
whoever.
How to spell.
In contrast, Capcom Japan features HoloLive VTuber Shishiro Botan, accompanied by fellow streamers Takane Lui and Tokiyama Itawa. Okay. I'm not going to read that title. Yeah, this is the screenshot right here. Yep. That's the... Oh, Lord. Based on Twitch Tracker's third-party data, we know that Capcom USA's Twitch stream saw a peak of 553 viewers live on Twitch. They also had an average of 422 viewers and gained 176 followers. The VOD of the live stream currently stands at 634 views as of writing. Meanwhile, Botan's stream saw over 115,000 viewers tuning in. It is worth noting that the VTuber has 1.31 million subscribers on YouTube, which is compared to Capcom USA's 69,900 Twitch followers. Unlike Capcom's YouTube and Twitch channels, mainly used to promote products, Botan streams are typically for entertainment, even in cases of sponsored streams. I'm going to ignore the related stuff. I'll just look at that.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
Yeah, despite the language barrier, English-speaking fans have shared highlights of Botan's live stream. Those clips showcase Botan and her friends having fun with each other's company and Exoprimal, which is some shit that you would use to relate to a video game playing audience. But, moving on. On the Capcom USA live stream, these two also took part in a dare to eat as much dino tendies and hot sauce as they could handle. This person also appears to have prominent fake nipples and exposed cleavage. A stark contrast with Botan's stream. I know why they brought that up. It's because, they're showing the fucking contrast anyway. Okay. This person...
Just go.
Dare would take to social media to object to Haru47 numero 2's original tweet comparing the streams, writing, "Lol." The amount of comments here asking what drag has to do with gaming in favor of VTubers. Now I am all for VTubing, but genuinely, what inherently do VTubers have to do with a dinosaur mecha game? Seems just as unrelated as drag. Personally, I like both, Derek concluded.
I don't know how you can like...
To make that fucking statement, what does VTubing have to do with Exo Primal, right? So both have anime roots, are anime expired. VTubers typically play fucking video games. This is an anime Japanese game being advertised and displayed by anime Japanese VTubers. So like, what the okay, whatever.
They literally have every right to be there.
And the shit goes together. Like drag and video games, it's like oil and water. Like those, they have nothing to do with anything. Oh boy.
Oh.
Capcom has been embracing political correctness for a while now, so it isn't as surprising to see the developer. Tainted that. So it isn't as surprising to see the developer hosting a drag stream to promote one of their upcoming products. In 2020, Capcom suffered a ransomware attack. What were you saying?
I said, "Dear Christ, Capcom, you have been tainted."
In 2020, Capcom suffered a ransomware attack and subsequent leaks. One of the leaks included alleged business strategies on political correctness. Oh, God. I have to go over that now, because if there's a business plan of it, I have to rub it in everyone's faces who tried to gaslight me into thinking that Street Fighter 6 had none of that shit in there. The alleged presentation slides discuss avoiding language deemed discriminatory or obscene, avoiding unequal or stereotypical depictions of certain races and sexualities with positive portrayals instead, and including gender-neutral cosmetic options.
What the hell is a gender-neutral cosmetic?
I don't know. The audience can hear me dying on the inside progressively as I continue this article. I do this for you.
Yeah.
In 2020,
looks like we both made sacrifices today.
We did. In 2021, Resident Evil 4 VR would be censored for a modern audience, removing dialogue deemed sexist, with an executive producer in 2022 insisting some of this stuff doesn't age well and no longer fit the franchise. Street Fighter 6 is also ditching sex in the character creator with two body types, one of them being always wearing a bra, and introduces a character called Eternity, widely believed to be either transgender or non-binary.
Tekken 8 sounds really good right now.
Oh, look, the comments. Let's see what the people are thinking.
Oh.
This first
people save us.
The first one from Controvert. Looking at this really makes me pray that the West have little to no influence in anime and games from non-Western countries. Tom in Az says, yes, why on earth would you ask the goddess of FPS to advertise your product? Botan is mostly known for insta-killing anything that jump scares her while playing survival horror and being able to kill you from clear across a map in pretty much any multiplayer involving shooting. Anon, her Elden Ring playthrough was pretty fun. She can melee too.
That's not relevant.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not relevant.
You're right. Anon, now I am all for VTubing, but genuinely, what inherently do VTubers have to do with the dinosaur mecha game seems just as unrelated as drag. How to out yourself as ignorant and or biased. VTubers predominantly stream video games. Drag queens apparently get used in cringy marketing tactics.
I cannot fathom why a market would go how they have any marketing partners.
We're not going to read all of these, obviously, but I'm going to cover a couple more because this is good stuff. Pat Gracie, not to mention VTubers use video game like avatars. I think it's pretty obvious which one you would expect to see advertising a video game. And they did shit that had nothing to do with showcasing the game. Like, who wants to see you eat black pudding off your fucking thing anyway? Andrew Fontelmi, I hope I didn't butcher that. Western media. How long are you going to impose drag culture on people despite the protests and complaints about grooming? Yes, is the answer.
Yes.
Only until everyone is a part of the LGHDTV community. The drag feel okay. I won't read that last part.
Blu-ray.
I won't read this comment because I don't advocate for that at all. Siva Q, haven't supported Capcom for years now. Doesn't look like that will come to the altar and confess my sins, right? Because my stupid ass bought Dragon's Dogma 2, and right after that, I heard about the.
Yeah.
I heard about this shit.
I remember that.
So, like, while I am still excited to play Drag, this is what they do. Because here's the thing, right? I could still redeem myself because the Japanese team had pretty much full creative control over that. However, they have been infiltrated, right? Like, Capcom Japan has been infiltrated, and they are not really doing much to try and address the issue. Like, it won't stop until they come out and actively fucking, what's it called? When you try to separate yourself from something? Fuck, what's the word?
Split. Are you talking about splitting yourself?
No, there's a word for it. They have to condemn. It won't stop until they actively condemn the mindset of these people. Yet they haven't really done a whole bunch to get rid of the people that are there. That's why Street Fighter has lost its fucking identity and has become progressively easier and progressively more progressive. So like here's what their strategy has been, right? We're going to use our RPGs to make us money while filling our fighting games full of this ESG DEI bullshit. Like, the niche property is the one being affected as per fucking usual, right? Like, it's like anywhere there's a culture that promotes any aspect of skill or execution, or there's some sort of skill-based barrier to overcome, they have to worm their way in and fucking degenerate it from the inside out.
Yeah, it's basically a virus. Ouroboros over here.
Yeah, and I have to repeat it. I don't know where I got this comment from, but I have to repeat it. They will hollow out your favorite media properties, wear their skins as a trophy, and wear their skins as a trophy while chanting it has always been this way. Like, they will do that shit. And shout out to whoever came up with that quote. You are absolutely fucking correct. And I'm gonna steal that shit because that's what the fuck they'll do every single time. Honestly, if I am to drift to a positive note involving Capcom, I am excited about Dragon's Dogma 2. And I do want to play it because I've waited so fucking long for a sequel to this game. But this might be another episode of let me just fucking say it like this. This might be the last time I participate in a product from them, because it was exactly like the MCU. Like, I really wanted to see No Way Home because I heard the Raimi characters would be in it. But knowing the overarching ideas and the overarching depictions they are using to put forth the product, I can't in good conscience continue to participate in it. They've done too much. And I'm not going to continue to fund a company that is dead set against ruining my experience. Go ahead.
It's funny how the people that have been infiltrating the game companies talk so much, or talk themselves so much of trying to insert representation for minorities,
Mm-hmm.
but yet they've never tried to help the biggest minority of all, gamers.
Gamers. That fucking meme. The most oppressed minority of all. Gamers.
Gamers.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. So now you guys see why I said this tonight's episode was kind of a mixed bag, because we had a show that has no video game. Does Avatar have a video game?
Actually, a really old one on PlayStation 2, and then another one on like PlayStation 4. But that one wasn't really well received.
Okay, let's say a show that's not derived from a video game, a show that is derived from a video game, and then a video game company and the video game they were promoting. I want to look into Exoprimal now, because it just sounds like a good game, irrespective of the drag queens. I would have never watched that fucking stream, by the way. I didn't even hear about this shit until like 2 days ago.
No. I didn't hear about this until today, so
It does sound like a cool game though.
Nope.
But anyway. Oh man, that's all our topics for tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys joining us again for episode 14 of the Monkey's Paw. We will continue churning these out as long as you keep watching them, but we know I'm gonna do this shit anyway. At this point, this has become an outlet. Like this has become a fucking weekly ritual to get on here and just chat shit about the current failings of Western entertainment, and it is very therapeutic. And like get in the shoot the shit. Go ahead.
I feel so much better getting to vent about what I saw in Netflix Avatar. Now, as further therapy, I'm gonna go watch the cartoon again to cleanse myself from the Netflix
cleanse
series.
yourself of the sin of having watched that filth. Be sure to whip yourself while you do it.
I need that. I am not a masochist, so no.
No, it's not about masochism. It's about repenting. You have to feel the pain.
I'm not whipping myself, man.
You have to feel the pain of your sins. Get the cat of nine tails out.
I felt enough of that.
Oh man.
What I'm gonna try to do is
just watch the Avatar movie.
Watch the cartoon. Oh God, no.
Oh dear Lord.
Watching no Avatar movies. I'm gonna watch the cartoon again. Put some little bit of that water tribe water on my head.
You're gonna baptize yourself.
I'm back anyway. Man.
Oh man. Before this sign off starts to linger, I am gonna do something I never do and shill my channel. Though the podcast is a major part of this channel, we are not a channel that's mainly focused on covering entertainment in the way of EFAP or Friday Night Tights or anything like that. This is a writing channel in which I teach other aspiring creators how to write, what makes good character development, world building, etc. So if you have any interest in becoming a writer or learning the basics of it, links in the description. Obviously, you can click on the icon underneath the video to be brought to my channel. There's a lot of lectures on certain aspects of writing craft on there. There are, of course, lessons where I give my opinion on certain things and teach you how to better execute certain aspects of writing craft. In the description of this very live stream, you will find all of my links where you can keep your finger on the pulse of Cosmogoth Inc., which is what I've decided to name this brand that I've started. And the mission of this brand is to be a part of the solution involved with reshaping the face of our rapidly degrading, decaying, debased entertainment. So if you guys have any interest in that, please check those out. Or if you just like hearing us talk shit for the better half of 2.5 fucking hours, you can continue to watch us here. I also have weekly gaming streams on Saturday. I call Dread Quest, where they're not gaming streams per se. It's just been video games. Dread Quest is where I consume media to showcase some of the better aspects of whatever narrative we happen to be dissecting at the time. I've already done Battle Chasers Night War. I'm doing Odin Sphere Leicester Seer, which is the remake of the original Odin Sphere right now. And after I finish that, I am going to do a TV show, which I have not picked yet and have not announced yet. So that is everything this channel does. That is what we represent. And this live stream and this podcast is just one wing of it. So there's something for fans and creators alike all over this channel. Feel free to peruse it at your leisure. But I would greatly appreciate if you checked out any of the links in the description. Thank you very much. You got anything to add, Soups? I went on for a bit there.
I hope everyone learned how not to write a show like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I can sense the fucking anger. Oh my god, dude. All right, guys.
And Toast says you are making a masterclass.
Basically, I appreciate the compliment. I'm not sponsored by Masterclass, but maybe one day. Anyway, again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been your gracious host, Kaine Walker, with another episode of the Monkey Paw, joined by my co-host, Soups. We are signing off, and we will see you all again next time. Peace.
Peace, guys.